What is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school?
I've never seen nobody get beat down like this. This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com. TatumStore.com. Get the link in the description section. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notifications. Anytime I go live, make a video, y'all already know what to do. Let's get into this. Oh my gosh. Y'all listen to me. I was sent the video. I watched the first 30 seconds of the video, and I said, I have to make this video. I am blown away at how this beatdown happened. I can't. I'm dumbfounded. Somebody at Joy Reid's news station didn't do homework at all. They put the wrong woman up here because this right here should end Joy Reid's career forever. Nobody would ever listen to her again. This woman must have hit her with a combination of punches, and they were devastating. And I'm talking about figuratively, right? YouTube. But y'all gotta watch this. I want to give this lady a hug. I want to donate $1 million to her. She was so good. Because these leftist lunatics put out a narrative, but they never get challenged on the narrative. And people aren't bold enough to come on the show and just But that's what happened. Without me running my mouth, put your seatbelt on. This finna get crazy. Roll the clip.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's anally raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, rape, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer for you. Please do. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the rape of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No, we're talking about public school.
Hold on, it's too much, bro. That's too much for me. God dang. How's she going to answer that? Man, who is Moms of Liberty? God dang.
Oh, man.
All right.
So now you've asked me questions.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Aren't Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Hold on. Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe, is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
Well, don't try to. Y'all, check this out. I'm gonna play the video, but this is what they do. People do me like this all the time in debates. When I would debate black conservatives that are black first, they always have this idea of Marcus Garvey or something, some obscure person that is irrelevant in real black history, and they'll ask you a question about him that you know, and then they think they want to debate. It's like, bro, you ask me some question about some obscure fact somewhere that I need to actually do some research to verify if you even telling me the truth. This is what she's doing. Who's the character? What does that got to do with strap-ons and stuff?
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You just remembered very
specific
things.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about strap. You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer your
question.
Great.
I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay,
great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert to know that dildos aren't appropriate for public school. I mean, come on, let's get real.
This is a full context story, as you said, of the author's experience. Why is it your right or a Moms for Liberty activist's right to say that a parent who wants their child to have access to this book, which gives a personal experience of this author, why doesn't a liberal parent, for instance, or a parent of an LGBTQ kid, why don't they have a right for their child to just have access to this book? Why is it your right to say they can't?
So again, we're talking about incest, rape, and pedophilia.
And each parent, each parent has to decide what is appropriate for their child to read. So I want you to answer. I'm going to ask you one more time. What is your right to tell a parent who wants their child, who might feel seen by this story, why don't they have the right? Why don't they have the right as a parent to say, my child can have access to this book?
If a child feels seen by this story, that means that they have been the victim of a predator. That means that they have either been raped by a family member, they've experienced
and your proof of that is what?
You just said that
What's
if a child feels seen by this story.
What I'm saying, Joy, you're now making assumptions about it.
No, but if a child has been raped, we should do a lot better than put a book on a library
Now you're literally creating a story.
She don't want her to talk. She don't want her to talk. She made a point. If you feel seen by a story of, think about this. If they had a story, and I'm going to play the clip, I promise y'all. If they had a story about a kid living in Paradise Valley, Arizona, in a multi-million-dollar house, and all he did was eat caviar and filet mignon every day, and they present that book in the school, and I feel seen by that book. If I feel seen, that means I have a connection with the experience. And that's exactly what she's saying. If a kid feels seen by a person that essentially has been abused by a predator, there's more to, a book is not the solution of having a kid relive trauma through reading a mandatory book in school. They probably should see counseling and never have that exposure to something like that again outside of a professional help. That's what she's saying. But Joy can't answer, so she got to keep doing what she's doing.
Behind a child that you don't know. Let me show you a form. This is a form that can be obtained in Broward County, Florida. Okay. I'm going to show it to the audience, and then I'm going to show it to you. Okay. This is called the opt. Yeah, please. I'm going to hand it to you. Thank you so much. It's called the opt-out form.
Okay.
An opt-out form would allow any parent, because you said you are in favor of parental rights.
I am.
It would allow any parent to opt out of their child being able to take books out of the library without their parents' permission.
Okay.
So that Moms for Liberty, why not advocate that every school in America have an opt-out form so that a parent who doesn't want their child to access a book like All Boys Aren't Blue,
right,
that they can make that choice, because then each parent, including a liberal parent, a black parent, a parent who wants their child to read a book about African-American history, then they get their rights.
We want children to read books.
Why not just opt out for yourself rather than tell other parents what they can and cannot?
First of all, I think what you're talking about here is a wonderful step in the right direction. We should be having conversations about this. This is about local control. A lot of these decisions are made at the local school board level. And that's where these decisions should be made. And there should be vibrant conversations about what's happening in our public schools and what kids have access to. Joy, however, maybe we could just put all the books with all the graphic sexual content, the dildos, the rape, the incest.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. Let's do a back room. Let's put a curtain up in the library like they used to do.
One moment.
Remember when we were little and you would go to the video store?
The books that Moms for Liberty.
The books that Moms for Liberty. With pornography.
I know that I've seen.
We could just do that in the public library.
I have seen tapes of what Moms for Liberty does.
Let's see, bring on the show and then talk over. These people are nuts.
And you all go into school board meetings and you read graphic stuff.
Disingenuous conversation.
No, it's not.
America used to understand that there's something called age-appropriate content.
Right, and here's my question again. Again, Ruby Bridges goes to school.
See, this is the gaslighting that these liberals do. Fundamental issue, and this is the problem with opt-out. This is like saying a teacher at the school can talk to your kid about sex positions, or the parent can opt out. First of all, you shouldn't be talking about that in the school, because if the parent is unaware, they may not have the kid opt out. If the parents are unaware that books like this exist in the school, which never existed before in the history of schooling in America, they may not know to opt their kids out. You don't thrust in graphic behavior and hope that they opt out. No, they should be able to opt into stuff. They shouldn't be able to have to opt out. You shouldn't be pushing this generically in the library at a school. And then you hope the parents can go and do the research and look at every book that they have in the school and hope that none of it is inappropriate. You would assume as a parent that all the books are appropriate, age appropriate. She had made mention about, the kid having dildos and stuff in it. Listen, there is ratings to movies. You can't watch a certain movie if PG-13. That means any kid under 13 can't watch the movie. Rated R. Anybody, I think below 18, maybe 16, I don't know what rated R is. I think it may be adult content. So it'll be anybody under 18 can't watch a rated R movie. I mean, technically, I don't know what rated R is, but you get what I'm saying. There's age restrictions and age appropriateness even in movies. So the same thing should be applicable in books. If you're describing a graphic sexual encounter, that's not age appropriate for young people. And a parent shouldn't have to go through the library and look at every book and make sure they're all good and then opt out because they see 1 or 2 books that's not appropriate. The problem is that if you have 400,000 appropriate books and 25 inappropriate books, why would a parent opt out of 400,000 good books? The thing is that if you got 25 books in there that are inappropriate, they should not be in the library. And parents who want to re-traumatize their children and expose them to pedophilia and sex acts, they can go buy the book on their own and subject their own child to it. When it's authorized, a public school, that means it's sanctioned by the government, that it's appropriate for your children. I don't get, of course, Joy Reid is disingenuous. You can see in the interview, she wouldn't let the lady talk. She go, do you know who the author of the book? She don't need to know who the author of the book is if she know the subject matter in the book. I don't need to know the main character of a book if the subject matter is inappropriate. That's like saying you got a book and the person that's in the book is a serial killer. Who you know who the main character is? I don't know who the main character is. I just know the book is about serial killing. And you're presenting to elementary school students. I don't even know how our country is even in this position. It's very clear, but disingenuous black people and liberals, white and black liberals, they're so disingenuous and I don't know if she have kids or not, or she probably raised them horribly if she think this is appropriate. This is not necessary. Talking about rape, like we never heard of anything like that in school. They would never play a book. They would never talk to you. They would have to present to the parent that this is being done, and the parent can say, my kid is not participating. They are not letting parents know that these books are in the schools. They're just doing it and hoping that by the time your parent find out, they already indoctrinated you on it. But anyway, y'all comment in the comment section. Was Joy Reid wrong for this? Which I think she is. But what did y'all think? I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.